G'day and welcome to another video on my channel. Today we're just going to do a quick equipment review video on something that you may or may not be aware of, but it was something I used just recently and I thought I didn't actually know about them for a long time, so I thought I'd let you know. So as a bit of background, this is my Colt government model 1911 in 38 Super, and when I first got this a few years ago, it was my first foray into reloading for semi-automatic pistol. I'd been reloading for a variety of rifles and revolvers for many years, but I'd never had a semi-automatic pistol before. And of course, the difference with a semi-auto, or most straight-bore semi-auto pistols, is they headspace on the front of the case, and so and you have a taper crimp. Now, when I bought brand new Hornady dies, 38 Super dies, when I first started reloading for it, I had a lot of problems. I initially bought moly-coated lead projectiles, but when the dies expanded the case, they didn't expand the case mount quite enough to stop the bullet from scraping as it went, as you seated it in the case, so it would tend to scrape a little bit of the moly off, and it would sit in front of the mouth of the case every now and then, not every case, and then what would happen is when you went to fire it, because it was sitting in front of the case, the pistol it would look pretty much normal, but it wouldn't quite go into battery, because you only have to pull this back this tiniest little bit and it won't fire. Made a liar of me. So if we pull that back, see that? It won't fire until, even if it's back only a fraction of a millimetre, it won't fire. So, and that was annoying, okay, I was having, misfire or having failures to function in the middle of rapid fire events and stuff. So, what I initially did was I just started loading with berry. I bought some berry projectiles, copper coated projectiles. So that meant that the copper's a lot harder than the moly coating on a bullet. And so that sort of solved the problem. Occasionally as you're loading, you'd see it would take a tiny little sliver of copper off, but you just wipe that away and it wouldn't actually be stuck in the middle of in the front of the case like a bit of moly or lead was. But then after that I actually became aware of a product. I saw it on the Brownells website, and that was this one here. This is a Cartridge Checker. So basically what it is a block of aluminium, and it's got this one. You can get all different sizes. You can even get 50 size ones, so you can actually do a whole 50 cartridges all at once if you want. But I just wanted one that I could check my cartridges after I reload them. And so basically it's got 7 chambers which are actually cut with a chambering reamer. So they're SAMI size chambers, so that you know that if the cartridge will slip straight into one of these chambers, you know that it will chamber in your gun. So if we find my 30, I've got a 38, so I've got a variety of cases here. There's one of my 38 Super reloads. It's got a copper coated projectile. So what you do is you load up all your projectiles. You might do 50 or 100 at a time or whatever, and then I just have them in a bowl basically, and then before I put them in their cartridge case, oops, you drop it in, and you can see the way that's gone straight in. And it's actually, if you look at that, I don't know if it's focused there, back here, if you look at that, it's basically pretty much flush or just slightly below the surface, which is actually the headspace tolerance really of the cartridge. So you can just do all your cartridges before you put them away, and you know when you go to the range they're going to chamber and you're not going to have any failures to feed due to faulty cartridges. Now, so this one is made by EGW, which is Evolution Gunworks. They're available through Brownells. They're probably available direct from if you're in the US, maybe direct from these guys. So you can have a look on their website. They make a variety of calibers. They make, little ones like this. They make a variety of different sizes. There's a few different brands. The other brand that you commonly see though, I got this one direct from Lyman. This is a Lyman brand Cartridge Checker, and this one is actually a multi-cartridge checker. So I'm not sure if you can see from there, but I'll read them out to you if I had my glasses on. So we've got 40 Smith & Wesson. We've even got cartridge. I found what cartridges I could find. I got as well to show this one. So we've got 40 Smith & Wesson. We've got 38 Super. We've got 9mm Luger. I don't have one of those here. We've got 380 Auto. I don't have one of those. We've got 45 ACP. I happen to have one of them. Oops. We've got 38 Special 357 Magnum. There's a 357 Magnum. We've got 44 Magnum or Special, and then we've got 44 Colt. So pretty much like all the most common cartridges anyone's likely to use in any modern handguns anyway. Now the reason that I thought about doing this video, it wasn't one that I planned, was the other night I was actually loading some 38 Supers to go to a match in a couple of weekends time, and as normal, I got this cartridge checker out and started putting them in, and then one of the cartridges, it didn't go in, and so I pulled my iPhone out and filmed it. So I'll show you that footage now, just to show you why it's a good idea to have one of these, especially if you've got a semi-automatic pistol. Sometimes when you're loading cartridges, one of them just won't feel right, or look a little bit bulgy, or something will be wrong with it, and you think, oh, I don't know whether that's going to chamber or not. And it's just handy to have one of these. You can just grab it and think, oh, that one felt a bit dodgy. Just stick it in and go, oh, no, that's all right. Now, as a bit of a demo, I haven't done this on purpose actually. When I was loading these 38 Supers, I got a whole heap here. I did have one that, well, I had a couple actually that felt a little bit tighter than normal as I put them in, but they all looked fine, and you know, I always just visually check them as I do it. But anyway, you know, so I loaded, I think there's about 60 rounds or something here. When I went to check them, there was one obvious cartridge. So now it's actually, what I've done is I've actually pulled them out and put it in here, so I don't have to do too many, but I'm just going to show you. So I don't know which one it is. It's not obvious, as I'll show you. So let's just start sticking them in. Now I'm looking through the viewfinder here, so I'm not doing it as fast as I'd normally do it because I'm looking through the viewfinder on the phone, on my iPhone. Alright, so as you can see, they've all gone in, they're completely smooth. Nothing's poking out above the thing. Like, even if you get one that goes in and just pokes out a fraction of a millimetre, well, that still indicates there's some problem, and your pistol may not go into battery if it's like that. So we'll tip them in there. Okay, now let's get these other ones. Oh, look at that. Okay, let's keep going. Might as well keep going while we're here. Okay, so there's a demonstration. This is a good demonstration of why you checked your cartridges. Look at that. I mean, as I'm pushing it, it is pushing in, and I may well be able to push that. See, I can actually push that all the way in. So it probably would still work. It may not cycle, and you may need to push the slide forward or something, which you don't want in a competition. Now let's tip this here. So as you can see, that one's tight. It's tight in the chamber. So we'll push it out again. Oops, get my fingers out of the way. Now let's have a look at this cartridge. Hopefully we can focus. So if we go around, like you can see, there's a little bit of dentedness just kind of there. But you know, it's not obvious. Like when I checked this cartridge after I loaded it, there was nothing that stuck out that said, oh yeah, there's a problem with that. It's only when you look really closely you can see there's a little bit of bell. And I think what's happened with this, what happens with some of these copper coated, this is a Tiger Shark copper coated projectile, is as they go in the edge of the case, because of course being a semi-auto, it's actually taper crimped. It's not roll crimped, and so you can't flare the front of the case out too much. And as it's pushed in, it often will just shave a tiny bit of copper off the side, and usually it just pushes it forward and you see a little sliver of copper. But I think what's happened in this case is it's actually shaved a bit of copper, and the copper's been caught under the edge of the case, and it's actually just there. I can feel there. See how the case bells out a little bit? So what I might do with this is just push it into the die a little bit. I might be able to just squash that down a bit. So I'll give that a go now actually, and then we'll come back and see if I've fixed it. Of course, you know, the other option is just to pull the whole thing and start again. Actually, what I did in the end was I just got my little brass tapper hammer and I just held it on a hard surface and I just gently tapped around the edge of it, just so that the bit was obviously sticking out was pushed in. So let's see how it goes now. There we go. So I've fixed it. So that will chamber fine now. But as you can see, if I hadn't have done that, you know, that could have been in the middle of a competition. You know, the pistol may have not gone into battery because it didn't fully chamber that round. You know, and then you have a stoppage, and then you just, you know, have to clear it, and you're probably one cartridge short or one shot short, and because you only have the number that you need for the competition. And yeah, so you'd wish you'd actually done it. So if you shoot semi-auto pistol especially, I would highly recommend getting one of these. And if you shoot a lot of rounds, you know, get one of these big ones. If you shoot a few rounds, or if you've got multiple pistols, you might want to just make do with one of these and just have one chamber for each one. Even when I'm loading my 357, occasionally, you know, you'll go to seat a projectile, maybe you didn't have the case straight or something, and it might shave a bit of lead, and you'll get a little bit of a bulge, you know, or you just feel as you're doing it, it doesn't just go smoothly. You think, oh, what's going on there? And you have a look at it, and then you got to make the decision. Is this cartridge any good? Should I pull it and start again? You pull it, size it and start again? Or can I use it? So, you know, but it's pretty hard just to know that by looking at it. But if you got one of these, and you can just chuck it in, and you know, it'll either go in like that and you know it's fine, or just like that other one, it won't go in and you think, oh, that's dodgy, and so then you've got to decide, you know, whether you're going to see if you can fix it so it works, or just pull it. Now, I was actually reading a forum about these on one of the gun forums, and several people piped up and said, oh, it's just a waste of time, why not just use your pistol barrel? And of course you can use your pistol barrel. So, but of course the first thing it involves is actually disassembling your pistol. So depending on what you've got, what sort and how easy it is, you can pull it apart and get your barrel out. As you can see, I mean, there's probably plenty of people who can do that a lot faster than I can, but anyway, there's your barrel. So of course you can do that. You can get your cartridge and, you know, it should go in there like that. But there's a few downsides to doing this. One is, as you can see now, I've got my pistol in pieces, and when I finish it, I'll put it all back together again. The other one is a legal thing. You know, if you're at home and you've got your pistol in pieces and you're reloading, and then your wife calls you up for dinner or something, here in Australia anyway, all firearms have to be locked away in a safe unless they're either being cleaned or repaired or something, or used. So, you know, if you left your pistol like this lying around on your reloading bench, that would be a criminal offence. So that's one sort of reason why, you know, it's a good idea just to have this, just pull it out, have it sitting there, finish your reloading, check them all, put it away, and your pistol stays in its safely away. So that's about it for this one, really. I just thought it might be, some of you guys might not be aware of these. I wasn't aware of them until a few years ago, I must say. When I first got this pistol, I didn't know that you could get these things. So actually getting that has actually made it much easier. I still actually tend to load those copper coated projectiles because I find they're just easier to load and they're not that much more expensive, really. I get the Tiger Shark brand ones now. If you buy them in bulk, you know, they're actually reasonably priced, so it just saves a bit of hassle. If I was to load mono-coated lead ones regularly in my 38 Super, I'd probably have to actually get another expander and flare the case out a little bit more just so it stops shaving the projectile and creating that problem. Anyway, that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, thanks for watching.